This video is the continuation of the tax tip and total video. If you run this program based on what I provided in the last video, let's say it's 100 and you click calc, 122 is correct, but let me fix the problem that it did not display the tax or the tip. So to display the tax, I need to take the label tax dot text is going to be equal to text dot toString, open and close parentheses. Now that'll display the tax. I want to display the tip, so the label for the tip dot text is going to be equal to tip dot toString, open and close parentheses, and now that'll display the tip. Now I want the final total to be displayed in, well, actually I'll display all of them in currency. So to do that, I just open C for currency in quotation, and then that'll display the amount with a $sign. So now if I run the program at 100, so I just put the .00. It's not really necessary, but see, now the tax is $7 because 7% of 100 is $7. The tip is $15 because 15% of 100 is $15. So you add them together, you get 122 as your total. So this is the full code for the tax, tip, and total program. In my previous video, I had made a mistake when I named the project. I put a comma. I put tax, comma, tip, and that was creating an error. So so don't put a comma when you type the name of your project. So with this video and the previous video, you should be able to create this program right here and hopefully do homework number 2 for this class. In this video, we're going to create an application that lets the user enter the food charge for a meal at a restaurant. When a button is clicked, the application should calculate and display the amount of a 15% tip, 7% sales tax, and the total of all 3 amounts. So I've already started the project. I'm just going to add the controls to it. So first thing I need is 4 labels. So I'm going to select label and click enter. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 labels. Now I'm going to resize these labels. So I'm going to click and drag around the 4 labels, and over here change the font size to a 12. Then I'm going to click inside the form. Then one by one I'll just change the text of each label. So this label will say charges. This label will say tax, tax colon. This label will say tip. And this label will say total. Now I'm going to add a text box next to the charges label. So I need a text box. Select and press enter. I'm going to rename my text box. So I'm going to go up to the name property, delete the one, and add charges. So it's going to be text box charges. Now I'm going to add three labels but with a border. So I'm going to add three more labels here. So I'll select 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to select around all three of these labels, and I'm going to change the properties. So I'm going to change the auto size property to false. Change the border style property to fixed single. And change the text alignment property. To middle center. So now I'm going to rename these labels. So this label I'm going to call label, delete the number there, label tax. I want to display the tax. I'm going to name, and also delete the text. So delete the text. So this is going to be label tip. I can delete the text first since I'm closer there. I'll delete the text first and then rename it label label tip. And then this one I'm going to rename it label total. Okay, and delete the text. Okay, now I need to add a button. So I am going to call my button calc. And for the text of the button, I'm going to change it to calc. Now the algorithm for this program is going to be like this. I'm going to declare the variable charges, tax, tip, and total. Then I'm going to parse or convert the string in the text box to a double. I'm going to calculate the tax by multiplying charges by 15 or 0.15. Calculate the tip by multiplying charges times 0.07. Then I'm going to add the charges plus the tax and the tip. And finally I'm going to display the sum in the label. So we double click the calc button. I'm going to use a double type. So we're going to create a variable called charges, a variable called tax, a variable called tip, and a variable called total. Now charges is going to be assigned. I'm going to use a double type, so parse, and I want to parse label. Oh, I guess I didn't change it. Let me see what I called it over there. Oops. I should have called the label charges. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not label. It's text box. Okay. Oops. Where am I? Okay. So it's text box charges. There we go. Text box charges. The text. So I want the text of the text box charges and assign that to charges. Now to calculate the tax, it's going to be equal to charges times 0.07. The tip is going to be equal to charges times 0.15. The total is just going to be equal to the charges plus the tax plus the tip. And then I want to display it in the label, so it's going to be called label total dot text, because labels only accept text. So I'm gonna assign it total dot toString, and this will do it. So the reason I have to convert the total to a string is because labels only accept strings. So total is not a string, it's a double, as I declared it up here. So then I can run my program. Oops, something happened here. Something happened, not sure why.